Well, I said it would happen, and it's happened, listeners. Welcome back to the Red Pill Transmission. I got bad news for patriots. Let me tell you, it's a bad news to be a real American. This is coming to you straight from the mouth of the Night Eagle, a.k.a. the Deep State Cowboy. God, it's hot in here. Hold on. Yeah, had to take off my shirt. I like to do this podcast a la mode. What's that? My producer's trying to correct my pronunciation. You took French, huh? Was that part of the curriculum in the queer studies department? He's queer. Alright, here we go. Boom. Shakalaka. Alright. From theblaze.com, new site I've discovered that I like a lot. Florida police confiscate guns for the first time under state's new gun control laws. Ooh! I mean, let's just roll in the Hillary Brigade. Come on, bring your tanks, bring your liberals, bring everybody who's coming in to take our freedoms. I got an idea. Why don't we just open up the borders and have everyone come in and have a big fiesta celebrating the death of America? If you didn't get that joke, fiesta means party. Alright, by Chris Enlow, weekend editor. That's right, weekend warrior. Police in Broward County, Florida, seized a middle-aged man's firearms and ammunition Friday after a county judge issued the state's first temporary firearms seizure under the state's new red flag law. Really? A red flag law? Interesting that you choose, something associated with communism. Notice they don't call it the American flag law, do they? They don't call it the Confederate flag law, do they? They don't call it... I don't know. Those are the main flags. What happened? Here's the next section. According to the Sentinel, Lighthouse... I don't mean to go on a rant. I just want to quickly say, I feel like every article I read now, it's just referencing another article. And it's just this long thing, and I feel like if I go far enough, it's gonna eventually come back around again. Like some big, I know this sounds like a hippie thing, but like some big, what do you call it when they're zooming on the picture, and it's like still the same picture, like a fractal. Like it's some big hippie fractal party, where everyone's smoking doobies and referencing each other. I don't know. According to the Sun Sentinel, Lighthouse, but just remind me about that. I might have to look into that later. According to the Sun Sentinel, Lighthouse Point Police seized 4 firearms and more than 250 rounds of ammunition from a 56-year-old man who police determined was a potential risk to himself or others. Well, which one was it? Was he a risk to the deep state? Was he a risk to communism? 'Cause you know what? I'm okay with that. In addition, the man was involuntarily committed to a mental hospital to undergo psychiatric treatment, whatever that means. Yeah, just come into my house, take my guns, you might as well just rip the baby out of my stomach if I was a woman, which I'm not, obviously. And then make me sit around and talk about my feelings about it? Yeah, I got a feeling. It's called, I'm gonna shoot everyone. No, I'm not gonna shoot everyone. I'm just saying, I'm really pissed off that you did this to me. And it really makes me feel sad when you do this. Florida's Baker Act. More like Florida's, I don't know, butcher and a baker. More like Florida's Butchering the Constitution Act. That's alright. Maybe I'll fix that in post. Allows judges, law enforcement officers, and medical professors. I feel like that's probably supposed to say medical professionals. I mean, not that a medical professor would be not qualified, because Presumably he is himself a doctor, or she, whatever. Presumably he is a doctor, but I don't know. I really feel like it means medical professionals. Again, I am here if you need my services. I know you're just a weekend editor, Chris, but I mean, come on, buddy. That's kind of an important point. That is deepstatecowboy@aol.com if you're interested. Let's see, where were we? Let's see, a patriot was just being bent over and sodomized by America. The medical professors. Florida's Baker Act allows judges, law enforcement, or medical professors to temporarily commit residents for up to 72 hours who are deemed risks to themselves or others. Okay, residents, what does that mean? What about illegal aliens? Are they residents? I mean, probably, but still, that's a loophole. You better patch that up, maybe, if it is. Also, the man is prohibited from buying or possessing firearms and ammunition in the near future. Makes me sick. This goddamn man served his country for 56 years. In the sense that he was here, alive, for 56 years. You know, paying taxes for a good, 38 of them, probably. He's 18. He sounds like a good guy. Next section. What led to the order? The Sun Sentinel has the details. They got the deets. Police were called out after the man turned off the main electrical breakers to the condo building in Lighthouse Point, court records show. That seems to imply there's only one condo building in Lighthouse Point, but that may be the case. The South Florida Sun Sentinel is not identifying the man because of his medical condition. Oh, really? So we won't even miss him when he goes missing. Hold on, we won't even know when he goes missing. No one's gonna miss. God damn, it's really hard to do. No one's going to realize he's gone once he has vacated his home. The man told officers he was being targeted and burglarized by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. God. Well, lock me up. Lock me up, America, 'cause you all know that I have been burglarized repeatedly by the FBI. My heart has been stolen reading this article, for one. Burglarized by the FBI and a neighbor who lives in his building. Ugh. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor, the judge wrote in his order. He didn't write that was, you get it. He could not describe the neighbor, but stated that the neighbor can shapeshift. He can change heights, and I'm not sure where he comes from, and to be honest, he looks like Osama Bin Laden, end quote. Sure. Well, it's all starting to make sense now. Well, first of all, let me just say, you don't need to deride him at every possible opportunity by saying that he could not describe him. He clearly described him. How much... I mean, okay, now you have to go look for a guy who looks like almost Osama Bin Laden but can shapeshift and change heights. I think that narrows it down. Jesus. Fucking assholes. Seriously, that is uncalled for, to just stick that little extra pin in him like that. Anyway, it all makes sense now, doesn't it? Oh, yes it does. First, as I and many other patriots have covered, Osama Bin Laden, I used to say he was frozen for many years, and then they unfroze him and pretend they got him, but also a possibility I left out there was he might not be dead. And yeah, guess what? Boom, here he is. How has he gone undetected? He can shapeshift. And change heights. He can shapeshift and change heights, which is really important when you're shapeshifting, actually, because, if he stayed like 6'5" or whatever Osama Bin Laden is when he was turning into a fox, it would not work as well. He also told officers that he had to turn off the electrical breakers because, quote, they were electrocuting me through my legs. Ugh. God, that's the worst. Typical deep state. Coming in first, they plant, what's that phrase liberals like to use? It's one of them queer phrases. It's like lighthouse, light point. Maybe there's a connection. What is it? Candlelight, gaslight. First, they put someone there who can gaslight him, because then all of a sudden he sounds crazy, like, oh, he can shapeshift. Well, guess what? He could shapeshift. What are you supposed to say? And then they start zapping him through the bottom of the floor. Just a little bit, though. Just enough to, like, piss him off. And then it's all part of their sick plan to come in and take his guns. Why didn't they just electrocute him all the way? Look, I can't explain to you why the devil appears as a beautiful woman. I don't know the machinations of Beelzebub. Lighthouse Point Police Chief Ross Licata told the Sun Sentinel that law enforcement has had multiple encounters with the man, but he was never arrested prior to his commitment. That's right, his commitment to stand up to the goddamn deep state. I think this is what the general public has been looking for law enforcement to be able to intervene in these kinds of situations for a long time, he said. Yeah, soak it up, you son of a bitch. You proud of yourself? You proud of yourself for locking up a patriot and his gun collection? Previously, officials were prohibited from seizing firearms from people they thought were dangers to themselves or others. According to the Sun Sentinel, officials could be fined or removed from office if they did. Yeah, that's right. As it should be. I voted for you. I decide what happens. I don't care if I am one of many people who voted. I have a gun. End of story. What do they not understand? Final section. What happens next? According to the new law, the officials... It's got a stink to it. The officials who seized the man's firearms are due in court on March 28th. At that hearing, a judge will determine whether or not the man's firearms and ammunition should remain in police possession for the next year. Oh, god damn! For the next year? That makes me sick. At the hearing, police will need to present clear and convincing evidence to prove the seizure needs to remain in place. Police will have to present additional evidence to strengthen their case if they want the seizure to remain in place. That's right! That's right, you sons of bitches. You can't just come in there wagging your little, he got electrocuted. He said he was being electrocuted through the floor, and he said there was a shapeshifter, hot changer, Osama Bin Laden next door. That is not gonna fly here. This is Florida, okay? You need a little more than that to take away someone's guns for more than 12 months. If the judge approves it, law enforcement can apply for extensions each year. Oh, and you know they will. You know they'll just be licking their goddamn sick chaps, waiting to take away that man's freedom. And that's why we need to go out there and protest. I'm not gonna do it because I can't give away my identity, but you Red Pill Nation, you gotta stand up for this man. I guess maybe we should find out who he is. I don't know. Should we? I don't know if that's good to give away, or if we should just do it and say, I'm referencing the guy in Florida, that's why I'm marching. I don't know. You know what? Crowdsource it. I give it to you, the people. Crowdsource it, figure it out. But the important thing is, we need to stand up for freedom, we need to stand up for patriots, we need to stand up for guns. I mean, we need to stand up for whoever is gonna take down that shape-shifting Osama Bin Laden monster. Alright, well, until next time, this is the Night Eagle for Red Pill Transmission, out.